Hi everybody. All right, once again, this is another presentation for technical communications. This presentation will focus on your annotated bibliography, everybody's favorite part of this report, I'm sure. So why do you have to create an annotated bibliography? I know you're asking yourself that question. Um, First of all, creating one helps you organize all of your information. Probably by now you've read tons of websites, probably some articles, newspaper articles. And the annotated bibliography allows you to take that information, organize it, so that you can remember what was in each of those sources without having to go back and reread an article or reread a website. It'll help you summarize those lengthy sources. That article that was 50 pages, perhaps it lets you summarize that into 3 to 4 lines. And that way, when you think, oh, there was an article, I know there was an article I read that mentioned this, you can just go to your annotated bib. It will help you analyze the usefulness of your sources. Most likely, all the sources you find won't help you with your report, but also you'll find while reading that different articles will help you with different aspects of your final project. And so it kind of helps you focus that all so you don't have to revisit your sources. And finally, you'll find that not all articles are honest. Shock, I know. So it helps you analyze the truthfulness, the bias of the author writing those articles as well. So for your individual entry for an annotated bib, what you first need to do is write out the source information in using APA. There are guidelines for using APA in your textbook. There are multiple websites available that provide clear information as to how to cite all of your sources. After you have that source information, the citation, then you'll need to summarize the article, the website, or the book which you are referring to. You can probably do this summary in 2 to 3 sentences. An annotation should not be longer than 3 to 4 sentences. If there's biased or slanted information in your article, you can mention that in your annotation. And finally, you can describe how that piece of information will fit into your final project. This entire annotation, like I said, should not be more than maybe 4 sentences at the most. Here's an example of an annotation. I'm using this simply to show you how you would actually format this. This particular one was taken from an article from the Comparative Studies of South Asia, Africa, and Middle East. You can see that in the citation above. The annotation itself, I've highlighted these terms just to kind of show you how you can incorporate some really strong verbs into your annotation. Instead of saying says or tells over and over again, you can use some of these stronger verbs and it really kind of helps improve your annotation. But let's look at the formatting first of all. You note that up top is the actual citation. We have the author's name, the year that was written, the title of her article, where it was found, and the pages in the actual periodical which I found it. What you'll note next is the lines. So see how after the first line of the citation, I've indented it. You can either use a tab button. I think that technically it's 4 spaces over. I'm fine with you using just the tab button. But after the first line of the citation, the second line or any lines that follow will be this inverted indentation. Note how my citation ends here with the page numbers, and there's plenty of room there, but APA actually suggests that you start the actual annotation here on the next line. This line will line up with the second line of your citation. It should not go all the way to the left margin. It should line up exactly like it is here on this page. So when you go about, that's one individual annotation for one citation. Your actual annotated bib will have a number of citations. Remember throughout that you'll use this hanging indent. So that first line will be on the left margin, and then after that, it will be 4 spaces or tabbed over. All of your information should be in alphabetical order using the author's last name first. This is the same for your reference page or works cited page if you were using MLA. Always has to be in alphabetical order. Your entire piece, your entire annotated bib should be double spaced throughout. Like I showed you on the previous slide, after that citation, that annotation will begin the next line, still with that hanging indent. And finally, don't skip a line in between sources. So you have your citation, your annotation. Don't skip an extra line before you go to the next citation. Go down to the next line, but don't put any extra ones in between there. Here's an example of what an annotated bib would look like. This one is actually written in MLA, so the only difference being that MLA asks you to start the annotation on the same line as the citation. So ignore that for this part, but I'm just using this to show you what the overall page would look like. First, we note how the author's name is over here on the left side, that the rest of the citation and the annotation has this hanging indent. And then here, I don't skip another line before going into that next citation. We have the next author, and see again how it's in alphabetical order, and it should line up exactly like this. All right, good luck on your annotated bibs. Let me know if you have any questions. I know this can be a really frustrating process. I'm hoping that you'll work together as a team to perfect this annotated bibliography.